we are here in the sponsor showcase, early access for the start of AWS reInvent 2023 in Las Vegas. And it is our privilege to be here as roving reporters again for the AWS Community Summit. I'm here as always with Steven Jaguar. And we're going to be bringing you the best of all the security content, topics, talks, vendor booths that AWS has to give you. Stay tuned. So we're definitely going to come back to this, but at the first stop on our walk around, the Builders Fair is always amazing. It's Amazon employees that are given time to build cool demos of what the technology can do, and you always get some great conversations. You always get some really interesting things. There was CDK Lego last year, where literally the Lego bricks built CDK for you and deployed things to the cloud. So we're definitely going to check these out one by one. Watch out for those videos. All right, let's move on. Of course, there's a bar, there's a happy hour tonight for people to look around the showcase. And because it's such a big event, here we have just one of the probably 100 keynote viewing areas for people that either cannot make it into the room because it will be full, or cannot be bothered walking the hour between here and wherever the keynote probably is. Now, actually, compared to the sponsor showcase, the keynote's only about 5 minutes that way. But there are like 4 different hotels all along the Vegas Strip hosting AWS-related stuff as part of this conference. So you might just not be able to get here, like even in a taxi.
So we're at the AWS for Industries Pavilion, and it is absolutely amazing where AWS has inserted themselves. We've got AWS for aerospace and satellite, telecom, financial services. We got retail industry. And you can go to each one of these different areas and you can see how AWS is fit in. There's even a shop just over here, which isn't open yet, but it's a walk-in, walk-out shop that uses AI and image recognition to tell who you are, how much you purchased, and just charge your credit card. It's amazing. Now, none of it's open yet, unfortunately, but tomorrow we'll try and get an example of one of us obviously trying to steal from the shop.
We're still in the AWS Industries Pavilion. I think we're going to spend a lot of time like interviewing and doing things in here because this is where you see Amazon technologies and use cases come together. Like, for example, here, like I've got like family knowledge of this stuff. Like my dad worked for the National Grid like all his life. This is tap control. This is how transformers and substations balance inbound and outbound voltages and loads to keep the grid healthy between transformer stages. And yet there is a example for modernizing and accelerating the national grid or your power grid in the US based on tying this stuff to the cloud, based on the telemetry, based on reacting quickly to it. Like every little niche area of industry with a problem like seems to be covered here. Like the seismic imaging behind us. Yeah, absolutely mental. Can't wait to kind of interview some people around this stuff.
So something that we noticed to do with the badges this year, like you get the normal badge, but we noticed very much like the AirTags, there's a little AirTag built onto the back of the tag, and you can pop it open, and you can do like what I did and what Matt has done, and you can take the battery out. I don't know if this is tracking anonymously or whether it's associated with the badge because they give it to you all at once. But it's a little suspect.
We knew it was going to be the case this year, but realistically, if you don't have AI in your messaging, are you even at reInvent? So this speaks to my like old school like SRE, like on-prem data center and like building data center vibe. This is an AWS outpost. So this is basically on-prem, but with AWS control plane. So you manage the whole thing like your own private region, even though it's in your data center. And I've never actually seen one before. So it's kind of cool to see that it's very much kind of just what you would expect. It's white labeled shared network fabric by the look of it. You've got space for a load of compute nodes. There's no kind of separation from what I can see from storage to compute. So it's kind of your regular like embedded storage cluster across your nodes. And what I also find really interesting is these massive ass bolts. It's running their management control plane. This is a AWS only access kind of vibe, I should imagine. But yeah, super cool. Interesting stuff.
So if you look just behind me, there's an awful lot of emphasis on security, which I really like the fact that this is becoming a pretty significant part of the I guess we call it the showcase. You've got CrowdStrike there, you got Palo Alto there. It's definitely a very prevalent theme. I think it's a very prevalent theme in the talks that we're going to be able to see. So we're going to be trying to track down some of the people doing security related talks and bring those to you. So keep watching keep AWS Community Summit. Keep watching.